Two headlines, same day, same event. Headline 1 says, protesters block traffic in the city center. Headline 2, citizens take to the streets to demand their rights. Same square, same people, same morning. One makes you think of disruption. The other one makes you think of a cause. Neither one is lying. But reading the first one, you probably felt annoyed. Reading the second one, you probably felt something closer to sympathy. So, how does this work? Who decides? And why? Framing isn't a lie. It's something more subtle. And because of that, it's more powerful than a lie. Every event that happens in the world is in itself neutral, a fact, a sequence of causes and effects. The moment someone decides how to tell it, which words to use, what to put in the foreground, what to leave in the background, the fact stops being neutral. It becomes a version. Take this word, crisis. Now this one, opportunity. Same economic situation, to completely different reaction in the reader. Or illegal immigrant, migrant, asylum seeker. 3 words that can describe the same person, but 3 mental images that have nothing in common. Framing is this, the choice of which frame to put around the reality. Not what to show, but how to show it. The concept has a history. In the 1970s, sociologist Erving Goffman observed something apparently simple. People don't react to events. They react to the interpretation of events. We always use a frame to make sense of what we see. It's a cognitive mechanism. It's how the human brain works. 20 years later, researcher Robert Entman applied this idea directly to media. His definition was precise. Framing means selecting some aspects of a perceived reality and making them more salient. Selecting, making salient. Not inventing, not falsifying. Choosing what to illuminate and what to leave in the dark. From that point on, framing became a conscious tool. In media, in politics, in marketing, anywhere a message exists and someone has to receive it. Now getting to the core of the issue. Why media choose certain words? This is the most important question. Why does one outlet use terrorist and another uses militant? Why does one say attacks Gaza and another responds to Hamas aggression? Why does one call a military operation an invasion and another a special operation? The easy answer is bias, ideology, political alignment. That's all true, but it's only the surface. Underneath, there's a structure. A journalist writes a piece, chooses the words, but works inside the newsroom. The newsroom has an editor. The editor answers to an editorial line. The editorial line is defined by the ownership. The ownership has interests, financial, political, industrial, etc. The words that reach the reader aren't just one journalist's choice. They're the result of this chain. Sometimes the pressure is explicit. The owner who decides what's off limits. But more often is implicit. A journalist who over time has learned what works, what causes problems, what never gets approved. This is called structural self-censorship. It's not fear, it's adaptation. And this is why different outlets, facing the same event, produce such different versions. Not because one is lying and the other isn't, but because each one tells the version that aligns with its own system frame. Now let's look at something real. In 2022, at the start of the conflict in Ukraine, a CBS News correspondent said on air, referring to Ukrainian refugees, "This isn't Iraq or Afghanistan. This is a relatively civilized, relatively European city. Same war, civilian victims, families fleeing, but the frame changes everything. That suffering deserves attention because it is happening somewhere like us. Geographic framing, cultural framing, selective empathy framing. Or take two headlines about the same economic data. Unemployment falls at 6.5%, or over 1.5 million people still out of work. Same number, two completely opposite perceived realities. The first headline builds a success. The second builds a crisis. Or this classic. In 2003, during the Iraq War, Al Jazeera and Fox News were broadcasting the same conflict. Fox News says, coalition forces advanced toward Baghdad. Al Jazeera says, foreign occupation forces in Iraqi territory. Same military advance. Two different wars. Nobody's inventing anything. Everyone is choosing.
But this isn't a place, with all due respect, like Iraq or Afghanistan, that has seen conflict raging for decades. This is a relatively civilized, relatively European, I have to choose those words carefully too, city where you wouldn't expect that or hope that it's going to happen.
The Army's 3rd Infantry Division made its way through the heart of Baghdad, and our own correspondent Greg Kelly.
I'm Kamal Santamaria. 8 years after that US-led invasion to topple Saddam Hussein, Iraq remains one of the most volatile of places. We know that. Iraq.
So, what do you take away from this? Framing won't disappear. It's not a disease of corrupt media. It's a structural feature of any organized communication. Every time information is packaged, whether it's a headline, a report, a political speech, a post, someone has already chosen the frame before you even read it. The question you need to start asking isn't just, is this true? But, which words are they using? What's been put in the foreground? What can't I see from here? That's the difference between consuming information and actually reading it. In the next episode, we'll go even deeper into the mechanism, how the economic level of framing works, who owns the media, what are they protecting, and how that translates into specific words on the page. If this episode made you see something you didn't see before, share it with someone who reads the news without asking these questions. See you in the next episode.